today. You have a bunch of tours and take showers twice. It's enough for all month in one day. Okay. It is July the 15th, 2025. Tonight we're going to start the book of Proverbs. Proverbs Bible study. We're on a bunch of channels. We're on Facebook, it seems to be the big one, on the Rumble, and on TikTok and X, and our app. You can get that. It costs us $6,000 a year to have that, but everything's free. Help us out if you want. On Instagram, and you can click one of them buttons and something will happen. Okay. Be sure to like our channel, share it, subscribe, and make comments. Tomorrow night, well, Whack an Atheist. I'm going to save this one for tomorrow. You going to get that video ready for me, Joseph?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. I love it. You might know somebody that needs this message. You tell them, hey, watch this. Click it and share it. Okay. We're open for free. Have been for 9 years and a couple months. Join our 777 club. See, I like what you're doing, Brother Hovind. I'm going to support you for $1 a day or penny a day, something, whatever you want, or nothing. Most people do that. Okay. But if you want to help, go to drdiner.com. All the details are on there. And we just want to win souls. Okay. Get our video series on science in the Bible. Is this the right cover or that's the right cover?
They're both right now. I don't know which one we're going to end up with.
Same thing, same content, different cover. Okay. So get the series and get our Woe series. What on earth is about to happen? If you want to come help us build the Ark, we're in progress going like crazy, building a 1/3 scale model of Noah's Ark. Here we are, the 15th. Let's see, Proverbs Bible study. And the Old Testament is everything before Jesus came. And everything after Jesus came is called the New Testament, right? Over, you got to point this way. Okay, oh, black, cut my finger off. Wow. Ooh, okay. Book of Proverbs is pretty much dead center in the Bible, right after the book of Psalms. Proverbs has 31 chapters. Book of Proverbs is a collection of essays, poems, and sayings expressing the wisdom of ancient Israel. It's part of the Old Testament, often considered the book of wisdom. The book attributed to King Solomon, most of it is written by him, though other people probably contributed some. Primary purpose of Proverbs is to provide guidance on living a wise, successful, faithful life, emphasizing the importance of fearing the Lord and seeking wisdom. The bulk of the book is structured into several sections, The initial part, first 9 chapters, is a series of instructions given by a father to his son. Hey boy, listen, I'm going to give you some wisdom here. Emphasizing the importance of wisdom and the dangers of folly, being foolish. These chapters include personifications of wisdom as a woman. Personification makes this attribute, wisdom, as if it's a woman, who calls out to humanity, offering guidance and promising happiness and success to those who heed her. The bulk of the book, Proverbs 10 through 29, contains a collection of pithy and brilliant 1 or 2 line sayings that deal with almost every issue in life, including relationships, work, speech, God, old age, drinking, integrity, money, lifestyle, government, justice, poverty, teachability, attitude, and much more. These proverbs often contrast wisdom with foolishness, providing practical advice on various aspects of life. If you're a new Christian, or even if you're not a Christian at all, you should read the book of Proverbs just to get some wisdom. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel, to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, judgment, and equity. Well, why is Solomon qualified to write this? If you go back to 1 Kings chapter 3, and Solomon loved the Lord, walking in the statutes of David, his father, King David, guy killed Goliath, only he sacrificed and burnt incense in high places. And the king went to Gibeon to sacrifice there, for it was a great high place. 1,000 burnt offerings did Solomon offer upon that altar. In Gibeon, the Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream by night and said, Solomon, ask what I shall give thee. Hovind translation. You got one wish. What do you want? Solomon said, Thou hast showed unto thy servant David, my father, great mercy, according as he walked before thee in truth, and in righteousness, and in uprightness of heart with thee. And thou hast kept for him this great kindness, that thou hast given him a son to sit on his throne as at this day. And now, O Lord, my God, thou hast made thy servant king instead of David, my father. And I am but a child. I know not how to go out and come in. And thy servant is in the midst of thy people, which thou hast chosen, a great people, that cannot be numbered nor counted for multitude. Give, therefore, thy servant an understanding heart. He's talking to God. God, would you please give me an understanding heart so that I can judge your people, that I might discern between good and bad. Who is able to judge this, thy so great a people? And the speech pleased the Lord, that Solomon had asked this thing. And God said unto him, because thou hast asked this thing, and not asked for thyself long life, neither hast asked riches for thyself. Hey, if you had one wish from God, what would it be? Bunch of money, long time, long life, build a big house. Solomon asked for wisdom. God was pleased. And you've not asked for the life of thine enemies, but thou hast asked for understanding to discern judgment. Behold, I have done according to thy words. Lo, I've given thee a wise and understanding heart, so that there is none like thee before thee, neither after thee shall any arise like unto thee. In other words, Solomon, you're going to be the smartest guy that ever lived. Pretty quite a promise. I've also given thee that which thou hast not asked, riches, honor, so that there shall not be among any of the kings like unto thee all thy days. Somebody figured out one time how much Solomon made per day. I forget what it was, many millions of dollars per day. And if thou wilt walk in my ways to keep my statutes and judgment and commandments, as thy father David did walk, then I will lengthen thy days. I'll let you live a long time. You didn't ask for money. I'm going to give you that anyway. You didn't ask for long life. I'll give you that anyway, God says. You got a similar story, the same story told in Second Chronicles chapter 1. In that night did God appear to Solomon and said, ask what I shall give thee. And Solomon said, thou showed kindness to my mercy to my David, my father. You can read the story for yourself in Second Chronicles. Okay, here we go. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel, to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding. We got all kinds of words we better get some meaning of here. What is wisdom? What is instruction? What is understanding? What is justice, judgment, equity? It's good to get a dictionary when you read through the Bible, okay? Especially a 1828 Webster's dictionary, because that gives the meanings of words in the King James Bible in 1611. Opening verses of Proverbs states, the purpose of the book is to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding. This indicates that the text aims to provide knowledge and insight into moral and ethical living, to give subtlety to the simple, to the young man, knowledge and discretion. Or if there's one thing I've prayed a million times since my 16 years old when I got saved, Lord, give me wisdom, give me understanding. Help me to know what the truth is. A wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. To understand a proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings. So what is the difference between knowledge and wisdom? Well, knowledge is knowing how to pick your nose. Wisdom is knowing when and where to do it. And discretion is knowing what to do with it after you get it out. That's the simple way to understand it. See, cows and giraffes can do it without any hands. Yeah, that's important to somebody somewhere. Okay, let's see. To give subtlety to the simple, to the young man, knowledge and discretion. Subtlety. What is subtlety? Well, in Genesis 27, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Isaac was blind, and Jacob, his son, tricked him into giving him the birthright. And his brother came in all upset, and his dad says, well, your brother came with subtlety, crafty, sneaky kind of, okay? The ability to really understand, or get something done. I have a sacrifice to do it to Baal. Whosoever shall be wanting, he shall not live. But Jehu did it subtly, to the intent he might destroy the worshipers of Baal. Jehu tricked them, okay? They consulted that they might take Jesus by subtlety and kill him. If you just read all the times that word appears in the Bible, usually you understand what the meaning of the word is. The King James is its own dictionary built in. And in Acts 13, he said, O full of all subtlety and mischief, you child of the devil, you enemy of all righteousness, wilt thou not cease to pervert the right ways of the Lord? He said, I fear lest by any means the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety. Subtlety, 1828 Webster's dictionary. Shyness, slyness in design, cunning, artifice. Usually, but less properly written subtly. Anyway, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. Hear, my son, hear the instruction of thy father. Forsake not the law of thy mother. I can look back on my childhood and say my dad was an awesome dad. Sergeant in the Marines, World War II, fighting in the Japanese theater, only survivor of his platoon. Brilliant man and smart. And he taught us boys so many things. I can still today hear the instruction of my father. Now, you may not have had that. My dad didn't have that. His dad died when he was a teenager of tuberculosis, a long, lingering illness. So he didn't get to teach my dad much. My dad came home from the war and got married and had 3 boys and a daughter and said, I'm going to teach my kids stuff I should have learned when I was a kid. And he spent his life pouring it into us. So if you did not have a good father figure, shut up, quit whining, and you become one to your kids. Break the chain right with your generation where it stops. Do something, okay? Forsake not the law of thy mother. See, there's a mountain of knowledge to gain out there. Atheists have not even started to climb it. The Bible says, the fool has said in his heart, there's no God. You're not even started on the mountain of knowledge, okay? And this word wisdom is used in the Bible a bunch of times in the book of Job and a bunch of times in the book of Proverbs. Wisdom is used in the Bible, 234 times, that word wisdom. It's used a bunch of times in Job, 8 times in Psalms, 54 times in Proverbs, and 11 times in the book of Daniel. Daniel prayed for God to give him wisdom. That's why Daniel and Revelation are the 2 books in the Bible that talk about end times, how it's going to end. I got a bunch of those verses. If you get my chart, let's see, right here. There's the little one, $10. The big one's behind me. On the back is all the verses about the future, according to the Bible, from the book of Daniel, Matthew, Mark, and Luke. You got to really start with Daniel to study the future. Daniel had a vision of the future. God showed it to him. At the end of the book of Daniel, Daniel said, Lord, I don't really understand everything I wrote here. God said, that's okay. You're done. Put the pen down. You don't need to understand. You needed to write down what I said. I do that to my secretary. You don't need to understand. Just write this down and do this. Call up the auto parts store and order A, B, C. I don't know what that is. You don't need to know what it is. Just order it. Okay? I need one. God inspired his word through men that may not even have understood what they were writing. Didn't have to. It's God's word. Okay. For they shall be an ornament of grace upon thy head and chains about thy neck. My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. Look, if sinners ask you to do something bad, just say no. Consent thou not. Consent thou not. My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. It's a song we sang in junior church for all the kids, okay? If they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood. Let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause. Let's sneak up on somebody that's not watching, okay? Let us swallow them up alive as the grave and whole as those that go down to the pit. We shall find all precious substance. Hey, come with us. We're going to rob somebody. This is what they're saying. We shall fill our houses with spoil. Cast in thy lot among us. Let us all have one purse. Hey, come with us. We'll divide up whatever we steal. We'll divide it up evenly. My son, walk not thou in the way with them. Here's Solomon giving his son advice. Boys, don't go with those idiots. There are certain people you just can't hang around. How many of you ever had a friend that got you in trouble because you should not have been hanging around them, but you did? Okay, yep. For their feet run to evil and make haste to shed blood. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird. One of the many lessons, probably 200 plus, I teach on my safari tour is about the crooked trees. I stopped by these trees on part of our tour. I say, kids, these 3 trees all followed each other's bad example and went crooked together. Have you ever done something dumb because you're with a friend that was dumb? You wouldn't have done it by yourself. But if you get dumb and put them together, there's no telling what they will do. I was school principal for several years, and whenever they brought one kid in, I knew just a few more minutes, his buddy's coming in. There's always the 2 of them getting in trouble together. Yep. Bible says a companion of fools shall be destroyed. We stopped on it, show the pictures of the crooked forest in Poland on our tour. Look at what happened. Nobody knows. There's 4 or 5 different theories. The trees are about 30 years old. All went crooked together. Huh. So Solomon has given his boy some wisdom. Don't do that, son. Don't hang around bad people. They lay wait for their own blood. They lurk privily for their own lives. Boys, they're gonna hurt themselves is what's going to happen. So are the ways of everyone that is greedy of gain. which taketh away the life of the owners thereof. You know, when God put the curse on him in the Garden of Eden, he told the snake, you're going to crawl on your belly. Well, it's not a curse to crawl on your belly if you're already crawling on your belly. So he had either arms or legs or wings or maybe all three. Nobody knows. But he lost something. He told the woman, you're going to have pain in childbearing, and Adam's going to be the boss of the family. That's the curse, ladies. He's the boss, okay? And he told Adam, you got to work for a living with the sweat of your face. You got to plow the ground and raise crops. And ever since that day, people have tried to get out of that curse by making somebody else work, and they go steal what they worked for. Yeah. So are the ways that are greedy of gain. They want it, but they don't want to work for it. Taketh away the life. Okay. Wisdom crieth without. She uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief place of concourse. In the opening of the gates, in the city, she uttereth her words, saying, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? Kind way of saying, hey, idiots, why you like being dumb? Okay. And the scorners delight in their scorning, and the fools hate knowledge. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. I called, and you refused. I stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. You said it not, all my counsel, and would none of my reproof. I feel that way about the atheists that I debate, Joseph. I tried to warn you. It's real simple. God made the world. He owns it. He makes the rules. We're all guilty of breaking his rules. You're going to be judged by that same God one day, and he provided one way out. That's Jesus Christ. You don't want to take it? I tried to warn you. I'll be up there judgment day. They're going to call up some of you atheists for judgment. They're going to call me up as witness and say, Lord, I tried. I whacked them 10 times. They didn't get it. I debated them 3 times. They didn't get it. What else want me to do? You wouldn't listen. How many of you ever did something dumb because you wouldn't listen? You ever do something? Yeah, okay. I remember my Volkswagen. First, I love that little 1963 Volkswagen. The head bolt stripped out. So we had to pull the heads off and, tap out the block and put in helicoils and put it back together. My dad said, son, you drilled holes in your engine block. You need to change oil before you do anything. Well, I had a heavy date that night. Well, she wasn't that heavy, but had a date that night. I was in too big a hurry to change oil. So picked up the girl, went to church, had a wonderful time, went out for ice cream afterwards. I'm taking her home, dropped her off. On the way back to my house, little lights came on the dash all over the place that said, you idiot, you should have changed oil. How many know what I'm talking about? You had those idiot lights come on. I told you what to do and you didn't do it. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish come upon you. He's saying, look, I warned you, you didn't listen. Now I'm going to laugh at you for not listening. Then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, they shall not find me. Too late, you got to rebuild the motor now, son. Yeah. For that they hated knowledge, and they did not choose the fear of the Lord. They would none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof. You atheists, I'm trying to straighten you out, okay? It's not because it's me. It's really very simple. It's God's word. He said he did it in 6 days. He said there was a flood that destroyed it. The flood is what made all the fossils. The flood made all the layers. The layers are not different ages, guys. How can the top layer be younger than the bottom layer? Where did all that dirt come from? Was it hanging around out in space for billions of years waiting to land? Even then, it'd be the same age. Every speck of dirt in the universe is the same age. How can you not get it? But you hate knowledge, don't you? Anyway, they wouldn't listen to my counsel and my reproof. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way, shall be filled with their own devices. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them. The prosperity of fools shall destroy them. Whoso hearkeneth unto me, talking about wisdom, shall dwell safely, shall be quiet from fear of evil. End of chapter 1. Okay, any questions or comments, brother? What are your thoughts on John MacArthur's passing? That's sad. He did a wonderful, great ministry for a lifetime, very faithful for a lifetime. I think when they sent me something about that. I commented on that channel about his passing. All I said was Isaiah 57:1. Isaiah 57:1 is a good. If you have somebody that dies in your family, and they love the Lord, read Isaiah 57:1. He said, the people who die now are better off than those who have to face what's coming. We're headed for trouble. The ones who die now are better off. Thank you for everything John did for the Lord. I look forward to meeting him up in heaven. Sit by him at the supper of the Lamb. Okay? Okay, let's see. Helping with my walk with God. Thank you. Well, appreciate that. Shireen. Spread it around. That's all I ask. You'll find somebody else who needs this same encouragement. Tell them about it. Okay? Let's see. Flat Earth versus round Earth. One topic I'm waiting for you to cover. I've covered it a couple times. I don't want to cover it. My ministry is on creation. The Earth is round. It spins. It goes around the sun. The flat Earth theory is dumb. Okay? Kansas is flat. The rest of it's round. There's so many ways to prove that scientifically. Scripturally, there's no way to prove it's flat. There's a lot of idioms in the Bible. And don't get me started. Long time. Joseph, why don't you do one on that?
I know a guy who's a physics teacher, Jason, developing flat earth arguments on Facebook. He come here and did the boot camp for us a couple years ago.
Okay.
Did 2 programs on it.
It's just I don't want to do bunny. I don't want to do programs on the Easter Bunny or Santa Claus either. Okay. Sorry. Christians are called to be Christ-like. They're not supposed to be Daniel-like, Job-like, Elijah-like. You think Jesus would call non-believers names? I believe he did. I think if you watch it. Yeah. You snakes, you vipers. Yeah. Make fun of them and degrade them. I think we should act in love toward them. Well, Aaron, you do it however you want. You go, if I drive them away, you catch them and win them. But God gave me a little bit of the Elijah personality. I like to laugh at him. You dance around the fire. Come on. Maybe call louder. Maybe you're out, in the potty or something. So, yeah, I think that's Christ-like. My way works pretty good. Anybody more there, brother?
Yeah.
Okay. Click like and repost the video to help get the word out. God bless you, Kent, and the crew. Thank you. Appreciate that. I can barely hear you. Certain things he can't talk about to keep his funding. I let God worry about the funding. I'll talk about whatever God tells me to talk about, okay? I'm not holding back on anything.
Yeah, I think they're saying that you won't speak on flat earth because you're going to lose some government funding.
I won't speak on flat earth because I spoke on it. I said it's stupid. It's not true. How's that? Dumb. Okay. Thank you. Tomorrow night, Whack an Atheist. Got several in line, but one might have done a video recently and jumped ahead of the line. Some you just got to whack over and over and over, and they just don't get it. But I like whacking them. See you tomorrow night. Bye.